Hello, this video is going to discuss how to do the cerebral palsy research paper as part of the cerebral palsy toy project. Now, this research paper is very important because this paper will help you truly understand what cerebral palsy is, how it affects kids or people, which types of kids it affects in terms of statistics, the whole nine yards. And so it's very important that we do this. Now, when we're developing or designing anything, we must understand what we are working with before we work on any solution for any sort of a problem. So cerebral palsy is a reasonably common disease as diseases go, but most of us don't really know very many people, if anybody at all, that has cerebral palsy. So doing this research paper will actually be very beneficial. Now, on the right side of the screen here is some information that will guide you through. And these are a few of the considerations that you must think about while you're writing this. So the most important ones are that you need to make this research paper structured as I have structured it for you. So don't just write a paper about stuff. I've done a lot of work here to structure this paper for you. So you just have to follow along with the structure. And that's very helpful to do that. So that's really important. Now, the links below, these take you to some great information. A lot of it's very similar, but most of it is different from one another. So you want to click on each one of these links and see what information about cerebral palsy is here, okay? And you also want to spend some time looking at the information. Don't just click a link, copy stuff, and paste it. That wouldn't work anyways, but you want to look at the information so that you can actually understand cerebral palsy. So think about this task not as something that's arduous, like, oh, I have to write a paper, but rather it's important. You have to learn about cerebral palsy so you can create a solution that helps kids that have cerebral palsy. Okay. Now, over here on the right, this is very important. Make sure that you use your own words when writing this paper. And what that means is don't just copy information from one of these sites and then paste it in. It also means don't look at information that you see on one of the sites, like a paragraph, and then type in exactly the words on the paragraph. That's exactly the same as copying and pasting. And to give you a little hint, I have some software that looks at the words that you wrote and it analyzes them against stuff that's already on the internet, including these links right here, and it'll flag anything that you've copied and pasted. So if you have copied and pasted, I'll just give you a 0, and then I'll send it back and have you rewrite it. So it's just really important that you don't do that. Also, this paper needs to be 500 words written by you. Now, there's already about, 50 words that are already on here. So your words are going to be 500 of your words that you typed in yourself, 500. And if you use your docs, if you go to tools, you can click on word count and it tells you how many words you've written. If you write less than 500 words, I'll just give you a 60 and then I'll send it back to you. 60 is not a very good grade, so I would definitely not want just to get a 60. So let me show you a little bit about how we do this paper. So you're going to have the front page here. You're just going to take your name and basically replace that with your name, your class name, which is design and modeling, period number of the date, just replace all that information. Now, this is very important right here. It says each section contains gray text to tell you what to write. Make sure you delete the text and ensure that your text is black when you are typing, when you're done typing. So what that means is that for this first part, it says, what is cerebral palsy? In this section, tell what cerebral palsy is, what part of the body it affects, and who it affects. You need to get rid of the gray text, that is your prompt text, and then type in the section. Now, if you type in the section immediately after getting rid of the gray text, the text you type will be gray, so you're going to have to change the font color. If you don't know how to do that, I'm sure you can figure it out. It's not that hard. So when you are writing each section, these need to be paragraphs. Not just one sentence, and definitely not bullet points, and definitely not lists. This is an actual research paper. Luckily, everybody watching this video has written research papers or written papers that include paragraphs since probably second or third grade. So this is not something that's brand new to you. You need to write a paragraph for every section, and a paragraph is more than one, more than two sentences. So if you have a section that has one sentence, I'll just give you a 60 and I'll return it back to you, because writing more than one sentence is definitely not too much to ask. So you're going to figure out what is cerebral palsy, the different kinds of cerebral palsy, the symptoms of cerebral palsy, living with cerebral palsy, treating cerebral palsy, and then some statistics about cerebral palsy. The gray text again tells you more specifically what you need to write about, and all of this information can be found somewhere within these links. So a couple things that you will have to do. One, you'll have to actually read information that's found on these links. You're going to have to actually read it, let it come into your eyes, let it marinate in your brain so that you have some understanding of what it is that you're reading. Then you're going to have to actually consider each one of these little gray areas so that you are writing about the correct information. Then you're going to have to actually write your own words in paragraph form, not a list, not bullet points, in a paragraph form that is your own words, so that the total of the paper is 500 of your own words. So that should be enough to get this done. This actually should not take you very long if you just do it. And the longest thing that can happen is if you turn it in that has bullet points and plagiarized text, and then I return it to you. That's what might take the longest. Actually, looking at the links, understanding cerebral palsy, and writing the paper wouldn't be a very hard task. So I think you're well on your way. Good luck with this.